欢迎收看新闻观测站，我是胡婉玲。那么您相信预言吗？被外界称为印度神童的占星预言家阿南德，过去屡屡的预言世界大事，包括像 COVID-19 以及这个以哈冲突等等，都备受国际瞩目。最近他获邀来台参加亚洲区块链高峰会，引起了各方热议。而民视新闻也把握难得机会，在这阿南德第一次来到台湾之际，好不容易答应我们的独家专访，他要为我们这个台湾预言未来，同时也借由这个机会，我们来揭开这位世界知名预言家的神秘身世。让我们来欢迎阿南德。Namaste, Mr. Anand. I'm Anhu with Formosa TV.
Oh, that's
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, have a seat.
Yeah, definitely.
Come. Abhigya, you've grown so much over the years, and now you become a very handsome boy.
Thank you, Shishian.
So this is the first time to Taiwan, right?
This is my first time to Taiwan. Yes, yes.
So far, how do you feel about Taiwan?
I just love this place, the country, the people, the values, the democratic values, and the society here, the infrastructure. Everything is just very nice and very organized, and the friendliness is something I haven't seen in other countries. I've been to several other countries around the world, but this is something very friendly about the people here, and I've so far enjoyed my stay. Yeah.
Okay, and what's your main purpose of this visit?
I am going to be speaking at the Asia Blockchain Summit on the 6th and the 7th of August, sharing my insights on the future of technology in relation to blockchain, artificial intelligence, and through an astrological lens. Yeah, so that's the main purpose.
Do you know you have many fans, believers, and followers in Taiwan?
Yes.
They are all very curious about you. Would you like to share more about yourself?
Of course, I would love to. Yes.
Okay, first, would you like to talk about your family background?
Of course. So I come from a Vedic, following family, a family that follows Vedic values. So the Vedic system is a very ancient system of moral code and conduct in Bharat or India. It's one of the oldest forms of civilization. So we follow that specific method of life, and my family has been following that for many generations. We avoid harming other living beings, and we follow a concept called ahimsa. I have a little sister, and I have my father and mother, and they live in the southern part of India. I live in Bengaluru and Mysore, and we have some cows, and I love studying astrology. I've been homeschooled so far. My parents homeschooled me from a very young age, and we study scriptures, different type of scriptures, and I also do research at home on my own. I studied astrology since age 11 with the help of my parents. They gave me the first, they gave me inspiration to go and do it. They do not know astrology or any other, Vedic science in a very deep detail, yet they gave me the opportunities to study these sciences.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard that you've lived in many countries. Is that true?
Yes, I have lived in Germany for 2 years. I lived in Australia for 1.5 years. When I was an infant, when I was a little child, I lived in Finland and Canada for 1.5 years. My father was working there.
So how many languages can you use?
I was 8-year-old when I was in Germany and 9-year-old when I was in Australia. So I used to speak German, but then I forgot it because I stopped speaking it after a very long time.
But you can understand what
I can understand a very, very little bit. Yeah. But I speak Sanskrit, which is one of the oldest languages in the world. I speak Tamil. I read and write Tamil, which is one of the oldest languages in the world. Kannada, Hindi, and I also speak Sindhi. Yes.
Your other family members, do they make predictions as well?
No, I'm the only person in the whole family who studied this. Yes.
Your sister, she doesn't?
My sister is into Vedic medicine and Ayurveda, which is a traditional healing science, and she's also studying other, sciences alongside. So she's going towards the medicine field, and I'm going towards the astrology and astronomy field. Yes.
And how did you get interested in Vedic astrology?
Yeah, so I was studying Vedic philosophy first. I also was very skeptical towards astrology when I was a child. No one forced me to study astrology. Me and my mother were just studying Vedic philosophy because we were very interested in spirituality. The room next to the place where they were teaching philosophy, there was a little class going on teaching the basics of astronomy and astrology. So I was curious and I asked my mother, can I please study that, and can I please, I was quite curious about it. So I went into that room and then we spoke with those people. They were reluctant to teach me, but then later on they agreed and I began to study little by little, and very soon I had read over 15 different scriptures related to astrology end to end. I was able to understand it through Sanskrit, and then I started to teach it after 4 years of studies. So yeah, it has been a long process.
I remember you precisely predicted the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes.
How did you make it?
So that was a mix of data and intuition. So on one side, I had a lot of data about the world. I was just going through a long list of events in the world for the last 2,000 years, different diseases, different wars, epidemics, pandemics, and correlating those to planetary combinations. And then one day when I was just sitting in my terrace, I was just finished my morning meditation and coming down when something just struck me that there is probably some dangerous event that is about to happen to the world. Then I just made a video. I named it Severe Danger to the World between November 2019 and April 2020, and I published that video on the 19th of August 2019, which is 6 months or 8 months before the pandemic. So that video went viral later on because I had talked about a world war or a pandemic in that. I gave two possibilities, but one thing was clear, that there would be severe danger to the world.
Besides using astrology, do you have some other skill to predict?
Yes.
Special skill?
Yes, so I think it's just intuition.
Intuition?
Yeah, intuition, it helps because when you meditate a lot, your mind comes to a stable phase when you're able to see things with clarity. But at the same time, nothing is very clear. So you have to use calculations, and you also have to meditate on the possibilities of those calculations. And so the basic premise is that planets and celestial combinations in the sky, the hypothesis of astrology is that planets and celestial combinations in the sky have an impact on the Earth. So that is our hypothesis, and that's how we function.
Mm-hmm. What kind of predictions can you make by astrology? I've been seeing you predict like natural disasters, yes, politics, yes, economics, and diseases. Is that the full range of prediction you can make?
Yes, I do make predictions for global events. Like as you mentioned, natural disasters, I've predicted a few of them. Mm-hmm. I've predicted certain wars like the Russia-Ukraine war and the Israel-Hamas war. 4 days before it happened, I predicted the Israel-Hamas war as well. And I've also predicted the pandemic and a few other things. And alongside, I also predict for individuals and companies as well around the world. So I'm a consultant, and I direct several operations for different companies around the world, and I help them understand the landscape of the economy through an astrological lens to understand things better.
So you can predict specific countries' future?
I can if I try, but at the same time, I do not have a crystal ball, and I cannot be 100% correct at everything. I can try to increase the accuracy rate, definitely more accurate than just a guess, but the thing is that I don't have a 100% accuracy in predictions. I can reach 80 to 90% accuracy.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to ask you. The accuracy rate is about how much?
My accuracy rate is above 80% most of the time, and there is a rumor in Taiwan that some people think, most people do believe that these predictions have been made accurately, but some people think that I make many predictions and one of them comes right. But I'd like to counter that saying I only make 4 to 5 predictions in an entire year, and out of that 5 predictions come correct and 1 is not fully correct, nor is it wrong. So that is my accuracy rate.
Yeah. Some people did criticize you for your inaccuracy because take example like World War III never happened yet.
Correct.
How did you respond to your critics?
Yeah, so I'm not God, and I cannot be 100% right. If I know everything about the future, then I can be God, right? So I'm not God. That's the first point. Second point is that when I saw a negative planetary combination, I felt that there will be severe danger to the world. So I was focusing on that. So what is severe danger? There are two possibilities. One is a major war, or the other possibility is lots of people dying from a disease. So I talked about both possibilities because I was not sure. So I said there can either be a major war or there can be a major disease. So what happened in that time frame was a disease. The reason why astrology is more accurate is that other people, like the World Economic Forum and other global federations, they were saying 2020 will be a very great year. But astrology was the only science, in my video as I explained, to predict that 2020 would be a dangerous year. So while I did not get the exact thing and I did not say the exact thing very clearly, I myself had a doubt what kind of danger it was. I was very sure that there will be danger in 2020 March.
Okay. Can you predict the future of a certain person?
Definitely. If you can predict about the world, which is a macrocosm, you can predict about a person, which is a microcosm.
Used by intuition or by
birth data?
Astrology?
Yes, by birth data. So the hypothesis of astrology, the basic premise is that the planets at the time of your birth, exactly at that moment, because that moment is so significant when one takes the first breath, becomes a new individual. The planetary influences that surround you at the time of your birth affect you. That is the hypothesis of astrology. And using the birth data, we create a horoscope, and that horoscope is used to make predictions about individuals. And a similar thing can be done for countries. We make charts for countries like for example, China, Taiwan, India, Europe, and all of these countries, and we predict for them. And we can also predict for corporations, companies, anybody, anything.
You are over million KOL, follower over millions. I believe many people would like to see you, even went to India to see you. Do you charge people who come to you for readings?
So it depends. Most of the people whom I consult a lot of people from poor backgrounds, and I don't charge anything to them. If people come for spiritual questions or just purely non-profit questions, like for example, how to help the world and what can I do to help the world. For example, they are an NGO, I don't charge anything. But if somebody asks a question that is related to a profit-making thing, for example, if they say, how can I become better at my work and how can I get a promotion, or what will happen to me next year related to my wealth, then of course there is a fee for everything, because I have to spend my time and my energy in studying their horoscope. So there is a fee, but I don't advertise my services, or I don't advertise my consultations. Whoever comes, they come, and if they want to come, they can come. Yeah.
Okay. Astrology and prediction will become your profession.
It is part of what I do, not exactly. I also consult several sustainable energy companies, and I also manage certain businesses, and at the same time I also teach different subjects. Like for example, I teach Sanskrit, the language Sanskrit. I teach traditional ways of interpreting ancient texts. I also teach astrology. I also teach mathematical astrology. So I teach and I also consult. In my free time, I do some consultations and I teach also.
So you would like to become a teacher?
Yeah, in the sense a teacher. I teach 1,000 students from around the world, and I have 100 researchers working with me who are teaching as well, and I have an institute that consults people, that teaches people, and I also author books. So I'm currently writing some books.
Since now you're here in Taiwan, can you tell us about Taiwan's future?
Taiwan's future. Right. So basically, Taiwan, I studied the astrological charts of Taiwan, and one thing is very clear to me. The national identity of Taiwan will never cease to exist. It will always remain. No matter what external threat happens, I do believe that Taiwan will forever stay an independent and powerful place. Even if the administration is taken over, the soul of Taiwan will remain, and the authenticity of Taiwan will remain. So that's for sure. But after 2025, we see some fundamental problematic changes for Taiwan. So that is a slight concern after March of 2025.
Fundamental change.
Yes, a fundamental change. There could be some sort of an attack or some sort of a conflict in the South China Sea which might affect Taiwan.
The South China Sea, that will affect Taiwan.
Taiwan, that's right. That's
really?
right. Yes.
Recently, you also mentioned about Taiwan economics
Yes.
in 2025.
Yes.
But it was very vague
yes,
to me.
Vague,
because
exactly.
I still don't get you. That's good or bad.
Yes.
It will be good or bad.
So at that time, I was appearing for a press conference on the Asia Blockchain Summit when I was suddenly asked a question about the TSMC. So yeah, I would say good, to a large extent good, but after March, it is a little bit problematic. So it can be problematic after March of 2025. Before that, it is okay. And after that, I see some problems. Definitely, I see some problems after March of 2025. So need to be careful. Although it is not yet very, very clear.
Let me ask you directly. Will China invade Taiwan by force?
That is possible between 2028 and 2031. That is possible.
Wow.
Yes, but Taiwan, there is a possibility. However, I would like to say that the Taiwanese people need not be afraid at this moment. And I'm sure that the Taiwanese people will fight for their sovereignty. And Taiwan is the beacon of light and democracy in the world. So it must remain, and it will remain. So,
but now you're saying that. Will that change like in few years?
A few years down the line, will I change my
situation, prediction? The result, the future, will that change?
If the people of Taiwan come together and they do something for their country and they establish peace as well as strength and security, I'm very sure that they can avoid a full-scale invasion. It's very possible. But that time frame is very critical, and we have to be really, really careful in that period, 2028 to 2032. I don't know exactly what will happen during that time frame, but I can definitely tell you that it's a very volatile period, and the South China Sea is going to be a theater of problems, especially Taiwan is going to be at the center of it.
You are able to predict many things. So in what situation you would not share what you see, what you predict? In what situation?
Most of the time I will share whatever I have as information.
You would?
I will, always.
Are there any cases you would not, you just keep it as secret in your mind?
Sometimes when it may affect the person's mental health, then I avoid making such predictions. When it affects people's mental health, so I avoid making such predictions. So unless say it is absolutely important to know it, I avoid making predictions which can harm people's mental health.
Taiwan's pride, TSMC.
Yes.
And what will TSMC's future development be like?
I think it will be very good after 2026. 2025, there is going to be some problem in between, which we have to be a little bit careful about. But overall, TSMC will continue to be a very valuable company. And I see more development in the next few years, especially the next 20 years are very, very important. However, around the world, other countries also will try to replicate TSMC. Although they may not be as successful as Taiwan, there will be some competition.
Can you make a daring prediction that who will be the next US president? Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? Which one?
While it's very difficult to say, the reason is I had explained yesterday in another interview that elections basically have multiple dynamics. When I'm predicting a war, for example, I've predicted several events with accuracy, but when it comes to an election, the number of dynamics are huge, and we don't have their birth details. I don't have the birth details of Donald Trump. I don't have the birth details of Kamala Harris, so it's very difficult to make it. But still, based on certain other charts, I can say that the Republican Party seems to be very much likely to come to power. And I have not yet made a detailed analysis of this, but looks like very much Donald Trump.
Donald Trump?
Yes, yes.
I remember today what you said.
Because I haven't yet finished an entire analysis of this, yeah.
And also, will the US stock market crash?
The US stock market, I wouldn't say it would crash actually. 2025 seems to be a difficult year, but it wouldn't crash in the sense of a crash. It might correct a little bit, but not crash. Yeah, not crash, correction.
You mentioned about the date, like the year, the 2025.
2025, yes.
Wow, we don't have to worry about it this year.
Exactly, we don't have to worry about it this year.
Okay.
That's right.
I see you bring your notebook here.
Yes.
Would you like to demo, show us how you make predictions?
Of course, of course.
We choose a topic.
Yes, let's choose a topic.
What to choose? Anyone to
I can show you how I predict global conflict, especially, or you can also choose any topic. Yeah.
Sure.
How I predicted global conflict. So say the Russia-Ukraine war or the Israel-Hamas situation, I can show you that. Or if you have any other topic also, you can let me know.
As you wish.
Thank you. Yes. You ready?
So we can calculate by computer.
Yes. Of course we can. Without this, it'll be difficult. We can calculate even without a computer, but that will be very difficult. It takes at least 3 hours.
Who wrote the
software program?
Who wrote the program?
So the Stellarium organization, they've made a wonderful program for anyone who is keen in astronomy or astrology. Any one of these 2 subjects, I would recommend using Stellarium. It is a very good non-profit application, which is useful.
What's the result show?
I can show you just a moment. So let me just open up these 2 files.
Okay.
So astrology can be used to combat risks and challenges that come in the course of any country, any individual, and even businesses. For example, we're now showing you how astrology can be used to combat problems with, say, terrorism, for example. So recently I made a prediction 4 days before the Israel-Hamas war, saying that there will be a major terrorist attack near the Middle East region. So this was my prediction around 3 days before the 7th of October. I published the video on the 4th of October. So at that time I noticed this combination which was present in the skies, and it was very, very similar to the combination that we had during 9/11. So because the same combinations were there, here we have Mars here, and Mars was located in a similar section of the sky as it was located during October of last year. So I checked these 2, I went through the data and I looked at them in detail, and there are ancient scriptures related to this subject. It's not just my imagination, but there are sages who have written this in detail in the last 5,000 years, in very detailed long scriptures of 5,000 or 10,000 verses each. So I've read those scriptures, and based on whatever is there, the information available in those scriptures, I make predictions using data science, scriptural knowledge, and intuition. So I combined all of that day, and I went through this data and I saw a similar combination in 9/11 that happened, a terrorist attack on the United States, and October of 2023. So that's when I was very certain that a similar thing would happen. And I immediately went and made a video on YouTube saying that there will be a severe attack or a terrorist attack to the world. I will share with you the video clippings later on. You can watch the video, it's on YouTube also. So I used this information to predict it, and on the 7th, Hamas attacked Israel. So that's the reason why you can use astrology to understand risks before they happen, and to mitigate them also before they happen if possible. So yes.
I'm thinking different astrologers might explain differently.
Yes. So different these things are
the same situation.
Yes.
Another person might explain different from you.
Exactly. So let me just put this in a way. We have Mars that is impacting Jupiter and Rahu and Ketu in a specific location in the sky. So this is something we all will interpret in the same way. If you go to European astrology, or say Roman astrology or Greek astrology, Mars is violent. Come to India, Vedic astrology, Mars is violence or anger. And if you come to Chinese astrology also, you will see that Mars has a negative or angry related influence if it is posited negatively. Everyone will interpret the same way, but it depends on how you interpret at the right time, in the right place, with the right frame of mind. So I think if anyone saw this properly, they would have interpreted it the same way that I did.
You become public figure since very, very small kid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do that bring you the pressure?
Sometimes, because sometimes people expect that I make accurate predictions, so I have to work towards it and keep honing the accuracy. Sometimes there is, but I enjoy my work, so it's not exactly a pressure. I enjoy what I do.
You do enjoy being an astrologer.
I do love it. I do love it because not only because it gives, say all kinds of positive affirmations from people. The reason why I love it is because I can create a positive difference in society. For example, whenever I make a prediction, I always talk about how to be kinder to nature and to animals and how to be more respectful of the society around us. So that's the message I give out in every one of my videos, and hence that's the reason why I enjoy it, because I feel in my little way I'm doing a small contribution to making the world a better place.
There were some sayings that, or rumors that when you was a kid, your family took advantage of you to make you famous, like that, sort of like that. They criticize a lot. You must have.
Yeah, I read one of those articles and I was kind of shocked and surprised because my family is so calm and peaceful. We live far away from the city and my family rarely makes videos. I also rarely make videos. The media here reports me every other day, but if you look at my official YouTube channel, I've only made 6 videos since the beginning of this year. So I'm very reserved and I don't make very regular videos. I speak when it's important to speak, and my parents have never forced me to do anything. They're very calm, they're very reserved, and whenever there's something to mention, I just take a little camera outside, I speak, I go to YouTube, upload it, and it's over. So we don't do any sort of publicity. Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask? Do you have a girlfriend?
No. Oh. I just focus on my work, so I don't focus on other things for now. Yes.
Do you see when you will have a girlfriend?
I haven't checked that, and I hope I just focus on my work further now. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
You mean work? Can you define your work?
My work is basically in the field of research and education and consulting. So I help people around the world and ethical businesses around the world progress and prosper. So I work with sustainable energy companies, with ethical artificial intelligence companies, and we help several ethical companies progress, and I also help individuals progress in their own lives and try to chart a path for them, and I teach a lot of students, so it's quite busy almost all the time. Along with that, I also make some research about the future of the world, and whenever I have something important to say, I make a video. So it's kind of occupied. Yeah.
You mentioned about your teaching,
yes.
But will you continue education back to university?
I would love to. In fact, I am looking at doing some more education as well. That will be fun. Not because I have to, but I love appearing for exams and I love studying. So anytime I'd love to take another program or another masters. I've done a master's in Vedic architecture.
You got a bachelor's degree.
Yeah,
already.
I have a bachelor's degree in Vedic architecture and a master's.
When was it?
Yeah, Vedic architecture in 2018. I completed
that's
it.
Age of 14.
At the age of 14. So I got a special permission from the chancellor of the university. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And then I also did a master's equivalent in Sanskrit. But now I want to study something more related to public policy and administration and socio-economics and behavioral economics. Because I'm very interested in this and I have used this, although I don't have a degree, I've studied these subjects in detail to understand the future of the world.
Now you're here for the Asian Blockchain Summit.
That's right.
And in what capacity are you attending?
I am a keynote speaker. I will be addressing as one of the 5 keynote speakers of the event. There are a lot of important speakers and a lot of people who will be sharing their insights. I think we also have the first digital minister of Taiwan, Audrey Tang, who will be speaking, and I look forward to hearing him. We have Vitalik Buterin, the creator of Ethereum, and we also have a few other very great people. And I'll also be presenting my subject on the 6th as well as on the 7th on that day as a keynote speaker.
Okay. Can you share some thoughts about your thoughts about Asian Blockchain
Summit? So one thing is that technology around the world is now spreading very, very quickly. Every 400 years, the world goes through rapid transformation. Now we are at the beginning of another big 400-year cycle. So what is happening is that we're seeing the rapid transformation of human society via technology. So we have to be very careful in this time frame. At the same time, it provides huge opportunities and there are challenges too. So with astrology, I try to decipher what are the opportunities and what are the challenges. The opportunities are the south and the east part of Asia will get several new opportunities to grow in the field of technology. Earlier it was only Europe and America, but now it's going to be large parts of Asia which will get huge chances in growth because of blockchain, artificial intelligence, etc. At the same time, we are dealing with a very fast moving technology. Just like the 1600s, we're dealing with a very fast moving technology. So we have to be gradual and careful and see where there can be harm to society and try to change it in such a way that there is no harm to people and society.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask?
Sure.
Did you calculate in advance before you come here and whether you should accept this interview or not?
Yes, so sometimes I do. When I'm about to make a major decision, I generally just meditate, and I don't always see my horoscope. I just meditate, I just think about it, and if I feel good about it intuitively, I say yes. I don't look at horoscopes for everything, but for important things, I just take a quick look.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting our interview.
Thank you so much. It was great.
Hope you have a nice day in Taiwan.
Thank you.
And make some good friends.
Of course, of course. The people are very friendly here, and I'd love to. And thank you so much for the nice questions too. Thank you.
Thank you. 今天呢，这个时间访问的时间非常的晚哦。阿南德先生呢是很有诚意的接受了民视的独家专访。那么这一段访问呢，我想这个愿意相信的人呢，您可以相信，应该满足很多的信徒、信仰者啊。那么当然，大家也可以，如果平常没有接触这个占星术的人，也可以参考一下。好，以上就是这一周的这个新闻观测站，谢谢您的收看，我们再会喽。